What's up, fish friends? I'm Kyle, and this is Caleb. Just kidding, that's Fred. And welcome back to Casual Reef Keeping. Today, Fred and I are going to talk about water testing and tank maintenance. Welcome and join us. Right, Fred? Not very talkative today.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to do a little water testing. This is more of a weekly test, including nitrate, phosphate, and alkalinity. I use these Hanna checkers, and I like to do them in that order I just named them: nitrate, phosphate, and alkalinity, due to the way the timers work. The nitrate tester has a 7-minute timer, and the phosphorus ultra-low range uses a 3-minute timer. So if you do them in that order, you can get them done while the other timer's running instead of wasting a little more time. So here I was just doing a little prep, cleaning the cuvettes, the little vials that are for them, and then filling the first one up with 10 milliliters of water. It's a good practice to clean them after each use so you don't have to dump them out and clean them before the test, as well as to reduce staining. Here we're going to add the reagent in and then zero it out, although in this case the unit decided it wasn't going to zero properly. I ended up turning it off and turning it back on.
Once I got it to zero properly, I just don't like when it takes more than 5 or 6 seconds. It almost seems like something's not right. Then I was able to actually zero the unit, and we're back in business. Luckily, this was the only time that happened during this test. Sometimes I feel like it happens if they haven't been used in a while. Maybe they just need to be have the batteries changed. I'm honestly horrible at being on top of that as well. Add the powder. Unfortunately, you got to shake it for 2 whole minutes, which for video purposes is pretty awful. Otherwise, I mean, when I'm doing the test, it's really not a big deal at all. I just set a stopwatch and do my thing.
Now we're going to use another packet, and we're going to shake. We're still shaking. We're still shaking. And we're still going. Okay, this is really important to be able to shake. Look, I'm breaking the sweat for God's sake. I need a drink. Shake. Now this is gonna burn, your forearms, and that's for nighttime. That's gonna be very important for us. So you want to make sure you use your muscles, and we're gonna shake more. Okay, shake. Little shakes. Big shake. We're gonna be tip. I think we're good. And then we're there.
And thank you to my friend Chris for his wonderful description of shaking cuvettes for the nitrate test. And now we're going to move on to the phosphate test, which is more or less the same beginning procedure. Zeroing, adding reagent, and shaking for 2 minutes. But don't worry, I won't torment you guys with that again. So now we're just doing it all over. A little lather, rinse, repeat, wiping it down, zero it out. Then we're going to add the reagent again, shake again. It's all about just getting the reagent to mix properly, as well as getting air bubbles out after. You'll see I invert and swirl a little bit, do all the heavy shaking right away to get it to dissolve. The timer should be long enough for all the bubbles to clear, but I like to, help a little bit anyway while it's working. Not going to torment you listening to Chris say shake again. You'll see I'm already getting bored doing it myself. That's the only downside to these things. This beats all the color changing things. I have a hard time with, is it 0.25 or 0.5? This is easier for me. Yeah, it's boring while you're shaking it. but it's just part of the process. This whole thing is less than 10 minutes to do these 3 tests. If I add in calcium, yeah, it adds a bunch more time, but that's not the end of the world. The calcium one's a little finicky. I'll have to show you guys that one as well. Actually, the calcium one's probably worth doing a video on by itself. That one does require a lot more attention to detail than these. Like you'll see with this alkalinity one, you know, I fly right through it. The alkalinity is a piece of cake. Zero it, add reagent, test it. It's syringe-based reagent. There's no 2 minutes of shaking. It's a piece of cake. And now we just need some results, and we can begin wrapping up this testing session. 9.9 on alkalinity, right where I want it. I know a lot of people like to keep it around 9. I go a little higher, like 9.5, 10. So 9.9 is fine. I'm still trying to dial in the calcium reactor since after the move, the demand kind of went back down. Things are a little funky. It's a little bouncy between 9 and 10, but I'm still seeing good growth, polyp extension. I got nice growth tips on that big purple stylo. I'll have to give you guys some close-ups for next time. So now I'm going to log my results in the Neptune Fusion app, since that's what I use for my controller. You can use whatever app you want, like Aquarium Note. Just type it on in. You can see alkalinity was a little all over the place. 46 for phosphorus, that's parts per billion, so that should be 0.14 parts per million phosphate. I'm going to end up dosing some Phosphate RX to bring that down. Since the refugium is keeping my nitrates nice in a good spot at 6.9, but not quite bringing the phosphates down far enough. I'd like to get the nitrates up a little more. As you can see, they just trended down. But the phosphates are kind of what's driving the issues I'm having right now. A little cyano and some hair algae. So I'm going to dose those, just dose the Phosphate RX, and then I'll probably siphon out some loose algae so that the die-off doesn't pollute the tank any further. But that's it for tonight's testing. Quick little cleanup. And then I'm going to store the cuvettes in this little 3D printed rack I made. I just made it for myself. I don't sell 3D printed aquarium things. This one's in PLA. It's just a cheap little thing I threw together. If you guys are interested, I'll work on uploading that STL when I find it again onto maybe Thingiverse so that you guys can just go ahead and download it if you want to give it a try. Otherwise, there are people that make nicer holders. There's some nice cuvette racks out there. There's some nice whole checker trays, not to name any names, but there's definitely some good options out there if you want a more formal tray or some better way to store your stuff. Mine is, it was literally just a little prototype. I don't even use it half the time, if I remember it. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to comment any questions you may have or any feedback you got for me. And we will catch you next time on Casual Reef Keeping.